Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sam Sayada. I am pursuing PhD under supervision of Professor Andrew Srivastava from Department of Zoology, University of Delhi. I am presenting part of my thesis entitled Deciphering Exosome-mediated crosstalk between tumor cells and macrophages and their polarization in lymphoma. So to start with exosomes, these are nanovesicles which are normally produced by the normal cells, and they cargo various carbo, nucleic acid, proteins as well as lipids. So they form a kind of intercellular communication network throughout the body. So in a healthy individual, the number of exosomes, it is maintained at basal level. However, its number increases significantly in various pathological conditions, including cancer. So if we talk about cancer, it's a complex process which involves the interaction of tumor cells with homotypic as well as the heterotypic cell types at tumor microenvironment as well as throughout the body. So these tumor cells, they release cargos, oncogenic cargos enveloped within these exosomes and mediate the protumoral, alter the target cell behavior towards a protumoral type. So basically we are working on how these tumor-derived exosomes, they mediate the immune division and particularly how they alter the macrophage polarization or activation. There are various studies which suggest that within tumor microenvironment, there is increased infiltration of macrophages and which is associated with poor prognosis in various cancer types. But how these exosomes, they mediate the polarization of macrophages, it is not much investigated. So if we talk about the macrophages, they are highly plastic cell in the sense that depending upon the environmental stimuli, they can become classically activated to become M1 type, which represents a pro-inflammatory phenotype, and it also shows a cytokinin effect. On the other hand, if the macrophages they become alternatively activated, they will become M2 type. These M2 macrophages, they promote the tissue remodeling and cell survival. So the report suggests, there are contrasting reports. Few reports suggest that it is activation of pro-tumoral M2 type activation of macrophages within tumor microenvironment, but others also suggest there is mixed phenotype of M1 and M2. So we were interested in knowing how these tumor-derived exosomes, they mediate the polarization of macrophages, whether towards M1 type or M2 type. So to investigate this, we use the murine model of Galton's lymphoma, which is a kind of T-cell lymphoma. We grow the DL cells in the mice peritoneum, and the growth is assessed by body weight and blood size. In the peritoneum, as the DL cell grows, the ascitic fluid accumulates within the peritoneum. So from that ascitic fluid, which represents the rich source of tumor factors, we isolated the exosomes, and then further we check the effect of these exosomes on macrophage polarization. So firstly we evaluated the murine model for the presence of exosomes. So firstly we performed the staining of the tumor cells with exosome specific marker, wherein we observed the high increased biogenesis of exosomes. Further, we check the exosome burden in the tumor microenvironment, which is the peritoneum, and we observe that within in the peritoneum section of the DL or the tumor bearing host, the level of exosome increased. So after evaluating the tumoral exosome burden in tumor model, we isolated the exosome from the ascitic fluid and characterized them using various techniques. Firstly, by electron microscopy, which represent vesicle-like structure in our sample preparation. Further, we check the size using the dynamic light scattering. The exosome size varies from 30 to 150 nanometer, and this our sample is also the exosome in our sample also lies within that range only. Then we further characterize the exosome using exosome specific markers, and we found that in our preparation of exosomes, the exosome specific marker shows the highest expression. So after characterizing the exosomes, we performed the in vitro study using the murine macrophage cell line, which is raw cells. So before looking into the effect, we checked whether these exosomes, the isolated exosomes, they are taken up by the macrophages or not. So we performed the exosome uptake assay, in which we stain the exosomes before incubating at different time points. So we observe that with increasing time points, the exosome uptake has been increased by the macrophages. So after evaluating the uptake of exosome by macrophages, we set our experiment and we took 4 groups: control group, second exosome incubated group, and third is the LPS stimulated group. LPS represents the inflammatory condition which activates the macrophages towards M1 type. So in tumor condition, we hypothesize that the exosome might be activating the macrophages towards M2 type. So we included LPS to differentiate between the M1 and M2 characteristics. Then we studied various parameters including morphology, wherein we observed a contrasting difference between exosome incubated macrophages versus the control group. Also in the LPS stimulated group versus the exosome group, we observed contrasting difference, wherein in exosome incubated group, we observe the morphology of the macrophages become elongated type. On the other hand, the LPS stimulated group, in that group, the macrophages show more flattened phenotype. Next, we look for the reactive oxygen species level. During inflammatory condition, it is very much high, but in cancer condition also, the reactive oxygen species level, it promotes the tumor growth and survival. So here also, we observe the increased level of reactive oxygen species in macrophages incubated with exosome. Next, we look for the another important parameter, which is the L-arginine metabolism. So L-arginine is a common substrate for the two competitive enzymes, nitric oxide synthase 2, NOS2, and the arginase 1. M1 macrophages, they express the NOS2. On the other hand, the M2 macrophages, they express the arginase 1. So for this, the NOS2, it metabolites L-arginine into nitric oxide. On the other hand, the arginase 1, it metabolites L-arginine into urea or in the polyamine synthesis, which is important for tumor cell survival. So when we estimated the nitrite level, we observed that in the LPS stimulated group, which represents the inflammatory condition, it is showing the high level of nitrite release. On the other hand, when the LPS plus exosomes were treated with the macrophages, then the exosome mediated or reduced the LPS induced NO level in the macrophages. Further, we look for the enzyme level, whether the NOS2 and arginase 1 they are expressed by the exosome incubated macrophages or not. So when we look for the NOS2 enzyme level, it was found that in the LPS stimulated group, NOS2 level was significantly high, which reduced upon with the exosome condition. And further, the arginase 1, its competitive enzyme, it was expressed by the macrophages. Then we look for the cytokine profile, which is an important parameter to differentiate between M1 and M2. So we observed pro-inflammatory cytokines, IL-12 and TNF-alpha, which was low. On the other hand, IL-6 and IL-1 beta, which is also expressed by M2 macrophages also, so it was high. On the other hand, the anti-inflammatory cytokines, which are specific for M2 type, so they are high in the exosome incubated group. So looking at the cytokine profile, we look for the TLR profiling because the report suggests that this IL-6 and TNF-alpha pro-inflammatory cytokines, they are released by certain subsets of M2 macrophages upon TLR activation. So looking on the TLR profiling, we observe the high expression of TLR2 in our study. So from here we can conclude that the lymphoma-derived exosome, they activate the macrophages towards pro-tumoral endotype by activating the TLR2 activation. So further, this could be targeted by using potent immunomodulatory agent or nutraceuticals for immunotherapy in cancer management. Thank you.
Thank you, Saima. Very nice presentation. And for questions.
Did you see any changes in liver and your body?
Regarding exosome?
Yes, like when you inject these cancer cells into peritoneum,
Yes.
after some time you will get lot of acidity.
Yes.
Did you see any changes in liver?
In liver, in what aspect?
Liver enlargement or inflammation or kidney enlargement or anything?
Sir, we observe the splenomegaly.
Splenomegaly.
Enlargement of spleen, not the liver.
Okay. And
But
also,
we-
like, what is the stain you give for exosome uptake?
Up to 4 hours.
No, staining is like, did you use any protein antibodies
For staining the tumor cells or for the uptake assay.
for uptake?
For uptake assay, we stain the exosomes using the PKH stain using the kit.
It is not antibody.
No, sir.
Oh.
It's a dye, PKH dye,
Okay.
stains the plasmid.
Which method you are actually used for isolation?
So using commercially available kit in vitro.
And if you check the efficiency, like compared to the centrifugation method, is the best method, or have you been about?
The centrifugation method, nowadays the comparison has been made and the exosome isolation kit are referred to be the best over the ultracentrifugation method. And in the characterization also, we observe a good number of exosomes in our preparation. So that is why we did not look for the ultracentrifugation method.
And you mentioned about that the exosome with macrophages, then the elongation is actually happening. And exosome morphology is actually changing.
Yes, yes.
And what will be the reason for that? How this is actually possible?
So actually it is getting activated. So upon activation it changes, there might be so upon activation the macrophages has the ability to change its phenotype. Like upon LPA stimulation also, it changes its morphology towards more flattened type to become more phagocytic in nature. On the other hand, the M2 macrophages, they do not show, they show the reduced phagocytic activity compared to the LPA stimulation macrophages.
Thank you.